YoungBoy Never Broke Again and Kevin Gates Trap Out. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About Music Reviews Season 11. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Guys, I thought about doing one music review. I didn't want to completely abandon the music, reviews altogether. But, guys, I will be real. I am, talking about some other stuff right now. And I hope y'all been enjoying the sports content. But we're going to take a break from the sports content to talk about some NBA YoungBoy, guys. He dropped a whole ass mixtape with DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled was able to get YoungBoy together, was able to get Kevin Gates together in the same song. And, it's just a beautiful sight to see. Now, I wish that this song was, maybe not, so much more mixtape vibes. I wish this could have been like a single or a song, But we'll get into this song, guys. We got YoungBoy Never Broke Again, Kevin Gates Trap Out. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Starting off with the beat. Now, look, guys, I am going to be real with you. I thought after the good album that I listened to, which was Massa, having such, very, I would say very production, going into this mixtape, and the first song I check out is Trap Out, and I'm not really impressed, I'm just going to be real. The guitars feel a little bit too like some 2019 shit. It sounds like I'm listening to a Lil Baby song in 2025. We got this basic-ass guitar loop, you got these basic-ass piano keys, and then you got this basic-ass trap beat that is just kind of, replaying the whole entire goddamn time. And I'll just be real with y'all, I'm really sick and tired of this type of production style. It just gets so boring to listen to. And for anybody to say that, you don't need a beat to be, a beat is only, one part of the song, you need other elements, other elements could be something that you really enjoy other than the beat. But I'll just be real, guys, if the beat is this fucking boring, I don't give a damn how you're rapping on here. I don't give a damn how you're flowing on here. If you're flowing on the most basic-ass beat I ever heard in my life, it's going to get a little bit boring to listen to. It's going to get a little too repetitive, in my opinion. And, that's why I'm really, guys, really, really diving into the sports world now, because I'm really fucking sick and tired of listening to this goddamn music. I mean, holy shit. If you told me after listening to Massa 30-ass songs and I'm going to have to listen to 12 more YoungBoy songs that are just mixtape vibes, and we got DJ Khaled in the fucking beginning, we got DJ Khaled at the end, yeah, it's just like, oh my, thank fucking God that, and the NFL season has started, guys. But I'll stop talking about sports now, because this is the music show. This is the main shit, I'll never stop doing this show, guys. We will be back on the 29th. The 29th, Sabrina Carpenter is dropping her album. I will be covering that album, sadly, on my birthday. Guys, I am human. I do actually age on this show. I know, it's been like 4 years, going to be 5 years doing this show now. But yes, I actually do age. And, the 29th, I will be reviewing Sabrina Carpenter, sadly, on my goddamn birthday. So, even if you're not happy with me doing the sports content, I'll be back on the 29th with some Sabrina Carpenter reviews. But let's get into this YoungBoy album, and let's stop talking about the beat now, because the beat's honestly so basic that I had to, go on a side tangent and talk about some other shit, because that's how basic it fucking is. So let's get into the verses. I would say the YoungBoy's verse was really good here. I like how he's flowing on here. I overall like the sound, and I will say, too, the hook. The hook is actually really goddamn good. I like, YoungBoy doing the melodic vocal style. It actually does work when you listen to the song. Actually really comes together, in my opinion, and just, in my full opinion, I like the melodic hook, and I do like YoungBoy kind of rapping his ass off, kind of going goddamn crazy on here. So, overall, I really do enjoy YoungBoy's performance on here. It wasn't half bad. I would say the only thing that was half bad was the second verse from YoungBoy. Now, the second verse from YoungBoy, he kind of kept the same flow, and he kind of kept the same flow, you know, till the end of the song. And I'll just be real, you know, the first half was definitely way stronger because we did have a Kevin Gates feature, you know, into this first half. But, you know, the second half kind of does fall flat a little bit, in my opinion. But let's get into Kevin Gates now. Now, I'm not a Kevin Gates hater, guys. I do love me some Kevin Gates. You know, one of my favorite songs, guys, you remember we used to review Tory Lanez back in the day before man got locked up and got stabbed up. So, you know, he probably won't be, you know, coming back anytime soon. But, you know, a long time ago, I remember he had a Kevin Gates feature, and I really love that Kevin Gates feature. And Two Phones, obviously, is a goddamn classic from Kevin Gates. And I also do love the Plug Daughter series, too. That whole series that I reviewed from Kevin Gates, you know, I would say like 3 years back, I probably did Plug Daughter, too. You know, I've overall enjoyed my Kevin Gates, you know, enjoyability of the music that I've checked out. And I also do like how Kevin Gates is a funny-ass guy. I mean, guys, literally, if you want to have a good laugh, you know, if you're depressed, you're sitting there, you know, hating your goddamn life. If you want a good laugh, literally just look up Kevin Gates. You know, Kevin Gates funny moments for 30 minutes. Or Kevin Gates just being Kevin Gates for 30 minutes. And you'll laugh your goddamn ass off. That man is a goddamn character. But did I enjoy his verse on this YoungBoy song? I'll be real, guys, not really. Sadly, I will have to say this is one of the features that I don't like from this mixtape. Because Kevin Gates is trying to do a little bit too much on this verse. You know, YoungBoy was already doing way too much on this, like, basic-ass beat. But, you know, Kevin Gates is doing all these vocal switch-ups. He's doing all these, like... And they're not good vocal switch-ups, you know. He vocal switches to this deep tone, and it's kind of like this, like, putting on this, like, I guess, like, Colombian, like, accent, I guess you could say, like, talking about, like, mobs and stuff. I don't fucking know the lyrics, guys. That's why we don't talk about lyrics on this show for a reason. But I hear this, like, deep voice, and I don't like that part. And then he switches to this higher-pitched auto-tune that just sounds fucking terrible. And then he switches back to, like, this, like, whiny, like, rap voice. And then he switches back, and it's just like, we're doing way too goddamn much. I mean, calm the fuck down. I mean, this is a guitar, like, basic-ass piano trap beat. Like, you are doing way too fucking much on this beat that hasn't changed. This beat that has stayed the same throughout the whole entire song. No beat switches. This beat hasn't even, like, faded, or, like, there's no moments where the beat has even paused. This beat just goes on the same loop over and over and over again. And Kevin Gates is doing all this goddamn shit. It's just way too much to listen to. So yeah, overall, guys, when we talk about this song, YoungBoy Never Broke Again and Kevin Gates Trap Out, I do like YoungBoy's performance, not the best performance. And then Kevin Gates' feature, I didn't really enjoy. So overall, guys, I'm going to easily give this song a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, guys. What y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're always dropping new content every day. This will be my only music review for the week, guys. I will be real because, you know, the next day we'll be doing a schedule. We'll be talking about the preseason Week 2 schedule, and I'll be going over my thoughts of how I'm feeling about all those games. I think we're going to be doing a part 1 and part 2. We're going to work our way up till Friday. So, I'll be doing some NFL content. We'll be maybe talking about some NFL news, too. If there's any during this week. There always is. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.